Hello, and welcome to another episode of Break the Cycle with me, your host, Joshua Smith. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Oh, man. I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. I have an awesome show for you guys tonight. I'm very excited. And I'm excited to start getting back to doing, regular shows again. You know, that we talked a little bit about it last week, and I was supposed to do this show last week, and then I got absolutely, on my deathbed sick for about 48 hours, just knocked on my ass. It was really rough. Don't know what it was. Brutal fever. No cough, just sinus and fever and feeling like I was going to puke and stuff. And then I spent another 24 hours feeling just really weak, and probably my electrolytes were all out of balance. So I didn't get to do this show last week, so we're doing it this week. But I'm glad to be back doing regular shows with you guys. I was spread pretty thin there towards the end of the campaign. A lot of family stuff going on and stuff, and so we didn't do a show for a month, and I felt bad. But we're back. I love you guys. I'm happy to be here. We got a great show for you guys tonight, except we got to start with some sponsors. Of course, we have TopLobster.com, the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend and partner on Break the Cycle, where you get this great custom Break the Cycle pillow that you see on my couch on all of my shows by using BTC at checkout for a 10% discount. Or you guys go over to the Patreon, subscribe star, or become a member of my YouTube channel under all of my videos by hitting the join link, where you can get into a private Discord server and get all Top Lobster's new gear up to 2 weeks before it goes to the general public at like a 30% discount. So it's really good stuff. Only on the new gear, though. Only the new stuff, and only for the 2 weeks before it goes live. Then you get the regular BTC checkout after that. But I do see a lot of you guys have become channel members on the YouTube recently, and I appreciate you for that. If you are not in the Discord yet, please get a hold of me on Twitter or email at joshua.breakthecycle@gmail.com or some other way, and let me know so I can get you into the Discord, because that one does not automatically add you. The Patreon and the Subscribe Star do send you an invite, I believe. So, and of course, executive producers of the show, anthemplanning.com, for all your emergency and crisis planning needs. Check them out today. See what they can do for your business, home, or personal life. They're doing a wonderful job that the government has historically sucked at, much cheaper and much more efficiently. Seriously, Amy Lepore is amazing. Go support her business. Help her help you. It's going to be amazing. I promise you. You will not be let down. And guys, we have a new sponsor as well. I do not have a video yet. I've tried to rip it a few times from their video on YouTube, but I cannot get it to rip for some reason. But it's a new podcast called Extreme Timeline. A good friend of mine listens. They're going back and watching all of ECW wrestling from the beginning and podcasting about it. So if you're a wrestling fan, it's pretty cool, edgy wrestling podcast. I enjoy it. If you're listening to this on the audio feed, of course you've heard it. You've heard this ad already. They have an ad, but there's a video for that ad as well that I would like to play on my show because they are an awesome supporting sponsor of the show now. So thank you to them, and please go check them out if you can. Guys, we've got a great show for you tonight. I'm super stoked. I put on my tie-dye. That's how excited I was. No, seriously. She's everything to this movement right now. She really put it all together for an amazing win. She's the new chair of the Libertarian National Committee, the Queen Bee herself, Miss Angela McArdle. Ma'am, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. I'm glad to have you here. It's crazy because I've been on the board for 4 years, right? I'm going into my 5th year on the board now, and I've had to serve under Nicholas Sarwark, and then Joe Bishop Henchman, and then Whitney Bilyeu. And it has been an absolute shit show, to say the least. I mean, we spent 4 years fighting each other. That's really what it boiled down to. It was all about these little stupid dog and pony show political games with each other. It had nothing to do with focusing our work outward on the state, which is what the Libertarian Party is supposed to do. And now we have a chair that I believe, and a chair that I supported, that I believe that is going to really foster a culture of people that focus outward on the state. But how's it feel to win, man? That's what I want to know.
Geez, I don't have an exciting answer to this. I knew I was going to win. I was out of the room when the results were announced, which was totally tacky. Two high, power people friends in the Liberty Movement caught me out in the hall and just yacked my ear off. And I am speaking at one of their big events coming up. So I had to be polite and stay outside and talk to them because that's also good for the National Party. Right. But I walked in and everybody high-fived me and I was like, yeah, okay, let's keep moving along.
Well, and I think everybody kind of knew, especially I think a lot of us, I knew going into convention, right? Like I had been following the hard count of the delegates. I knew where we were at. But I think once we got to convention and those first couple emotions started going through, I just started going, oh man, it's going to be.
People were nervous.
Oh yeah, I was like, it's going to be such a bloodbath. It's not even close. I'm looking around, and I know, I've traveled the country for 5 years. I know a lot of the Mises members, right? Like a lot of the delegates, and I'm looking around. It's just like all familiar faces everywhere I looked, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's going to be. I almost felt bad for the other side at convention. You know what I mean? Like I really did.
And, and some of the complaints I got were that it was very, we owned it, in your face kind of attitude.
Sure.
I understand those complaints. However, I will direct people back to 2018 when you first ran. And what was the chant? Stick with Nick, stick with Nick. I thought it was pretty rude and in your face. So I don't want to say tit for damn tat, but sometimes.
If you remember exactly what happened right when the results were read in 2018, so there was a shirt going around that was made by that Kieran Osei guy. That was like I survived the 2018 national convention, and it's like a ball of dust fighting.
Yeah,
right?
It was like a little Peanuts thing.
Well, Nick had a special one made that said I won chair at the 20, and it was the same shirt. And right as the results were announced, he was on stage because he was chairing the convention, and he actually put that shirt on over his suit and was like, I'm the best that ever lived or something. And it was like, and I just walked up to the stage and shook his hand. I'm like, good job, Nick. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they have been doing this for a long time and fight and doing all this stuff, and then they want to get mad when people are like, hey, we won.
It's bad if you do it, but it's okay if they do it.
Right. Well, and it's, I was really gracious when I won, and at this convention, right? And I shouldn't have been. There was no reason for me to be gracious, but I did. I went up, I shook. I had no problems with Eric. I thought Eric was a nice guy. I got a good friendship with Eric. I went around to a lot of the people who disliked me and told them, hey, thank you. I hope I don't let you down. You know what I mean? Like I didn't go around and like point in people's faces and laugh and spike the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what they've been doing for years. So why shouldn't we have? For sure.
Yeah, you were probably nicer than I was. I wasn't rude to anyone. I was gracious to Steve and Tony, but I didn't go out of my way to identify anybody who hated my guts and shake their hand.
Right.
I was like, I'm busy.
Well, I knew that our caucus was kind of split, right? And so I knew I was going to have to win over some people that probably weren't in the caucus as well. And so, I went and talked to some of the moderate middle people, and some of them don't like me, you know what I mean? And tried to assure them, like, if I win, I promise to do the best I can to represent you as well. But, these other people over here, I'm probably not going to try my best to represent some of these other people, but hey, you guys for sure, But so it's been a little over 2 weeks now, right? Is that how long it is? I don't know.
Yeah.
So in that 2 weeks, why don't you tell me what you've been working on?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we're going to have this is going to blow everyone's minds. We're not going to divulge all of the party's strategies publicly, because that is a stupid thing to do if you want to be a major political contender. But I will tell you that we are starting to take a look at establishing some major goals, figuring out processes, streamlining a lot of behind the scenes stuff that doesn't sound that exciting to most people. It's very exciting to me. SWOT analysis. What's Scrum? What's Kanban? How do we make decisions? Why would we make that decision? How do we operate? All that stuff is in the works and coming together. Ballot access. We have gone to town on ballot access. Everybody thinks, oh, the Mises Caucus, they don't care about ballot access. Shut your whore mouth. Just totally wrong. I sat in a meeting with the Delaware Department of Elections to make sure that our rightful affiliate had access to putting their candidates on the ballot. We managed that. We owned it. It was very good. I spent hours, not nearly as many hours as the other guys on the team did, but hours working personally on a Wisconsin candidate, Jacob Vandenplas's response to getting his signatures challenged to make sure that he would be on the ballot. Spent hours doing legal research for that, helping them draft the thing. We emailed it in with like literally 4 minutes to spare. We owned them in the hearing the next morning, just totally hosed the GOP opposition. I guess there goes the QAnon level plot that I'm going to sneak GOP candidates in. We got some ballot access. Go ahead.
We need to talk about this because this has always been the funniest thing to me, right? Like they're calling us Republican plants. Right, we're Republican plants. We're trying to subvert the party to make it easier for Republicans to win. I've been a registered libertarian voter since 2010, mind you. Okay, I walked completely away from the duopoly in like 2008 after I watched what they did to Ron Paul. Right, that everyone knows that I worked on Ron Paul's campaign in 2008. I walked completely away because they just trashed liberty in the GOP. I don't want a lot of the GOP. There are some GOP candidates that I think are good candidates, and that's fine. And people know that about me, but there's, the majority of them are not liberty candidates. And right. I think you've been in the party as long or longer, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got really active in the party in 2016 and I was like peripherally active and attended a handful of meetups and would network with people in the party. I think I started doing that in 2014 with some cannabis initiatives that I was working on that other libertarians were working on and some medical freedom stuff in California.
Well, imagine being from LA, right? And someone saying, "Oh, you're a Republican plant trying to make it easier for the Republicans to win." Have you ever been to LA? The Republicans don't win in LA. It doesn't matter what you do.
They are less politically active in LA than the LA County Libertarian Party is.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's how it is in San Francisco too. The Bay Area. I mean, you got to go out to you got to start going towards the Central Valley away from the Bay Area to really start finding like GOPs that like local Republican parties that work.
There's tons of them and they go to meetings, props to them for showing up to meetings, but like did they want to sign on to our anti-mandate activism? Like only like nominally. Right. Local Republicans who run their own little things, they were happy to help. But the actual LA County GOP, barely a peep out of them. Barely a peep. Jeez. California GOP is a complete joke. They were checking vaccine cards for their state convention.
Of course they were.
Garbage institution.
I had Mike Rufo, who's also on the board with us now, a wonderful person. He's from New Jersey. He's one of my favorite people in the party. He said he explained it in a way that made a ton of sense to me, how the Republicans in Jersey are actually Democrats.
Yeah.
He said the Republicans are actually Democrats and the Democrats are far left socialists.
Yeah.
That's exactly how California is, 100%.
That's how California is. I would say that the log cabin Republicans are fairly based. Sure. The gay Republicans in California are the most based of all anti-woke Republicans, and a lot of the other Republicans have gone woke. They're just desperate to be liked and try to claw back some relevancy. It's never going to happen. Sure. Never going to happen.
You made a comment recently about wokeness, how we're no longer accepting the woke Republicans in the Libertarian Party, and that really made some libertarians, that's in quotes in case you guys are listening to this, made them really upset with you. I wonder why that is. But what do you mean when you say that we're no longer welcoming to the woke Republicans?
So we would welcome people from all political backgrounds, right? Because not many people are born libertarians. A handful of our members have had the wonderful, blessed experience of being born to libertarian parents and growing up that way. But it's really, you need to check your political and ideological baggage at the door when you come into the party as best as you can. And that means that what we don't want is tyrannical woke policies coming in and taking over our state affiliates, our county affiliates, and certainly not the national party. I mean, state affiliates, they're going to do what they're going to do. So people listening, they're going to lose their minds. Calm down. You're overreacting. I love saying that. No one's at the LNC is coming to gatekeep your state affiliates. Do what you're going to do. But we don't want people who are ideological tyrants coming in. We don't want to blend of woke fusion Republican nonsense here. We're not a party for lower taxes and pronoun police.
Right.
That's just not what we do. It's not helpful. How does that advance liberty?
It's just it's a beautiful but also stark contrast to this time about 2 years ago, where Nicholas Sarwark was saying, we're taking the party left. And that's, I can confirm that. He said that to Karen Ann Harlos. He said it to several people. We're taking the party left. And so it's such a cool, like beautiful, but stark contrast to hear that, because it's, we've been, we get so much shit talked about us for making the party more welcoming to bigots and racists and homophobes and God, what Republicans and this and that and this and that. And but the truth of the matter was that the old regime of the Libertarian Party was the one that was making it more welcoming to the Republicans. That's what they were doing. That was their whole, the Bill Welds. They were going after Bill Walsh. They were going after all these people that are coming, these woke Republicans. Exactly what they were.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, Liz Cheney. But the even worse, they weren't just woke Republicans. They were woke Republican neocons, right?
Yeah.
They were they're like remnants of the party of John McCain. These are the people.
Gross.
Yeah, and these are the people that we're the one party in this country that stands up against the war sentiment, right? We're the one party in this country that says, hey, well, we don't want to support the military-industrial complex anymore. And if you feel the same way, we're a home for you. And we're making it more accepting and opening it to people who have sat on boards that have helped keep us in wars in the Middle East. You know what I mean? And that it never sat right with me. And it was one of the reasons why I fought so hard against the old regime of the Libertarian Party. Yeah. One of the reasons why now I'm just like, man, life is good. Absolutely. I'm so happy.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bill Weld is not getting an invitation to speak at any national event as long as I'm around. Probably not Lincoln Chaffee either.
Yeah,
we got a wealth of speakers to choose from.
But at least Lincoln is mostly anti-war. He's real bad on a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, he was a little anti-gun too.
Yeah, the anti-gun
mostly
anti-war. Stuff. Yeah,
but that's like a little bit more of a leftist position. The people who I am mostly concerned about, like the top priority, are woke Republicans, because left is like genuine leftists. They don't usually stick around.
Right.
They don't usually stick around for whatever reason. That we're sort of a revolving door for like these like curious leftists. They'll come in, create a bunch of problems for us, blow you up on the debate stage because they're like a communist monster or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But then they leave.
Oh, you were talking about specifically me. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
but then they leave.
Right. Yeah, because they can't. Well, they're not going to stick around because they, on a long enough timeline in this party, no matter who's at the helm, they're going to realize that this is a party of capitalism. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's just how it's going to be. It's how it's always going to be. You can't, because you could call us, not real anarchists, not real libertarians, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, if you're going to talk about, free and fair trade, and you're going to talk about being the party of free markets and open markets, it's going to boil down to laissez-faire capitalism. I mean, that's what we're going to end up pushing for. And at some point, they're going to run across enough people to go, maybe this isn't the place I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
If little market anarchists and little like commune people want to come join our party, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You're all welcome. We're just not pushing that in our platform. It's not going to happen. But you can still hang out and do your little hippie commune thing. Like no one's condemning that. Like, rainbow gathering, not my jam. But if somebody else wants to go do it, more power to you. It's when you get tyrannical. That's why I like the term like woke. And some people don't like it, whatever, but it's like obscenity, when you see it. It's usually straight white people who are the worst, actually.
Always, every time.
It's not gay people. No. It's not people with dark skin. It's allies.
Right.
Those are the people who just
savior complex. It's the savior complex, and you know this as well as I do because that whole mindset originated in California, right? And
totally.
And I can picture the Oakland Hills, okay, with all these upper middle class, like rich or upper middle class to low high class, like living in their 2-door houses up in the Oakland Hills. They're driving their little Priuses, and they're like, I have to go down to East Oakland and save the blacks. Like that's exactly what they think, and it's like first of all, those people hate you too. You know what I mean? They don't want you around the neighborhood. Trust me, I lived in East Oakland, right? Like. They don't want you in the neighborhood. We don't want you in the neighborhood. And you guys are down there like, I have to save you. I have to save you. It's like this. It's like they have no other identity. You know what I mean? And they're living up on Mount Piety
because and they're NIMBYs. So why would you want someone who pushes not in my backyard policies to come down and save you on a Saturday?
Right.
It's insulting.
Yeah.
It's insulting. It's the same in LA. It's the not in my backyard people. They're the most like woke and progressive, but that's because it's like a game to them. Their lives aren't at stake.
Right.
So here we are, Libertarian Party, trying to make the party more welcoming to Black people and minorities. That's actually what we're doing in a real way, not in a token. it's not just tokenizing.
No.
Like, I think it's degrading.
Well,
it's degrading.
Here's the cool fucking thing too. This is what I love. Like, for all the shit they call us and you know, our specific wing of the party that we came from, at least. I mean, I understand that as a board, we have to try our best to represent everybody in the party. I understand that that's our job, and that's what I'm going to try to do, and that's why I reached out to all kinds of people about the SPLC thing first before I voted on it. But I'll tell you that the wing of the party that I come from has way more fucking diversity than I have ever seen from any of the old regime libertarian
absolutely
wings. And you know, and there's a real, God, there's like a feeling and a movement coming from our wing that is black led. I mean, that's legitimately. I mean, we're talking Maj Touré. We're getting Zuby involved. I mean, Eric July's even been stoked about the caucus. I mean, Olivia Rondeau. I mean, and you feel it. I mean, you can feel that energy coming, and it came in with our wing of the party. But we're the bigots. We're the ones, you know, because we didn't come to the party and go, hey, we're going to start a black wing of the party because we need to save these people. We said, hey man, you know, we got Maj Touré, and Maj is talking about how libertarians can help the hood and this and that. So we just let them, you know, let them do their thing. That's what what it was always about. And what, you know, and libertarianism, and this is what I've always said, this is why I think that we need to focus more on the local level, and why the Mises Caucus message resonated with me so much, is that we as libertarians have to show our communities how our policy and our philosophy can enrich their lives, because that's how you win. Right? You have to show people how it enriches your lives. And there's communities that we're not parts of, right? And we can never show that to. And so just getting the fuck out of the way of other communities that you're not in and saying, yeah, man, here's what libertarianism means to us. Here's our policies. Take them and run with them. Do whatever you want in your own communities. You know what I mean? That's all you ever had to do. That was it. And
proof of concept.
Yes, exactly.
It's because we're being authentic instead of being like cheerleaders, just giving lip service to something in a community that we're not a part of.
Right.
You know, and that makes some people uncomfortable, but it's like, we're not part of the black community, and that's okay. And we don't have to force ourselves into it. When we get an invite, we go there, but we're not trying to boss anyone around or tell them how to be, you know, this is the correct kind of libertarian, you know, like, this is the agenda for the black libertarian. Exactly. No, like, you're going to do your thing and we support it.
Just get the fuck out of the way. And look what's happening. You know, we had the regime libertarians like, oh, we got to be anti-bigotry and this, and we got to stand up for Black Lives Matter and this shit. And none of the black community libertarians wanted anything to fucking do with those people. Zero. Right. And the caucus comes in and goes, yo, dude, we're going to talk about decentralizing shit, and we're just going to get the fuck out of your way. And then they're like, yeah, that sounds good, dude. We like that.
Yeah.
We'll you know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, that's it. That's all you ever had to do. And now we're the bigots. I don't get it. It doesn't make any damn sense to me.
It's so, because once you get called a bigot, a Nazi, a racist, you're in the position of saying, I'm not a bigot.
Right.
So it's a really useful insult to throw at anyone that you don't like and smear, because they're just going to be permanently branded with it.
And of course they know we're not bigots. They know we're not bigots.
Yeah. It's dishonest.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Soviet propaganda is really what it is. They're lying. We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying. And they don't care. They keep lying.
Right. Exactly. Thanks to Mr. Yonke from Libertarian Podcast Review for the $10 super chat, man. He said, this is what Nick wants. Joshua subverting Angela. That's hilarious, by the way. I don't know if you've listened to any of the media I've done since convention.
I have not. I have hardly listened to anything.
I'm sure you know that the libertarian loser caucus that is anti-Mises and anti-you and anti-me came to me at convention and said, hey, we really think that you're probably going to screw Angela up if you win vice chair. And at first I wanted to be like, are you guys fucking idiots? Like I want nothing but the best for Angela and for whatever board she chairs. You know what I mean? But I didn't say that. I was just like, oh yeah, that I don't know. I'm kind of a fumbling idiot. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing. And so they went around and actually whipped votes for me when the anti caucus.
Yeah.
And somehow Nick and Sasha Cohen and the Perrys and these people got it in their head that if I became vice chair, I would try to drag you down because I have to be the one true chair and all this stuff. Like, I don't give a shit. You know, like, I don't need to be the chair. And so they, I think they're the ones that gave me that 2% on the first ballot, to be honest with you.
It's interesting. I can't really relate to the level of mental illness that it would take to actively campaign for and vote for someone that you hate.
Right.
Because they hate you.
Oh, big time.
And like, that must just be like a really dark place to be as a human being.
It's gotta be such a dark, and well,
I can't.
In my head, I'm like, okay, the anti-Mises people are trying to whip me because they think I'm going to somehow drag down the Mises chair candidate. And in my head, I'm like, you know how, not only do you have to be in a really dark place, you have to be really fucking stupid to think that the guy who was around when the caucus was like 50 people in the Facebook group and traveled the country and sacrificed his jobs and houses and girlfriends and shit for the caucus is somehow gonna get in there and be like, yeah, fuck this caucus. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It never did. But politics is a dirty game.
It's projection too, and that's what they would do.
Right.
It's a real tell.
It's true. Timothy Perkins, thanks for the $1 super chat. He said, LP membership affiliate program win?
That's a really good question. I don't have a timeline set for anything. We're in the middle of figuring out, how do I phrase this? Goals that are measurable and attainable that we can achieve.
Right.
And affiliate support is part of that. So rather than rush something that's going to be a pile of hot garbage, I would rather us take time to craft something based on the needs of real affiliates.
Well, I think he's talking about the membership affiliate program, right? Which is
the membership affiliate program is coming back.
It is coming back.
And we will have announcements about that very soon. I have had the pleasure of workshopping that a little bit, but I will say that our operations director, Robert Krause, and Todd Hagopian have really spearheaded that project. So major props to them, but that'll have an official release. Soon.
Nice.
It's going to be great.
I was wondering myself about that. I know we chatted a little bit about it online and stuff. And, when I was on the board, when they brought that, I was like, yes, dude, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Right.
It's coming.
And then they took it away without ever saying anything.
Yeah,
right.
No, it's coming back. The decision to take it away was petty and spiteful.
Right.
I'm not going to make any quotes, but there are people who are, not necessarily on our team who have said it was petty and spiteful and a bad move. So we're bringing it back. Man, there's so many things I want to announce, but I'm trying to. Well, I can't blow my load on the podcast on every single announcement. Like that's a bad marketing move, right? So don't worry, it's coming, and it's going to be better, and we're going to be generous, but not overly generous with the affiliate sign-up links that we send out because we want it to be successful, and we want to make sure that we can track actual progress.
Nice. Yeah, I had my own personal link for a long time, and members of the LNC can have one. You don't get paid for it or anything.
Right.
But I used it for a long time, and that was, in that year and a half span where I was like, I'm going to prove that I'm the best recruiter on this board. I did that. And then once, Dan Fishman announced it in the LNC meeting and all that shit, I just stopped using it. Cause I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like it was like, it was all about like beating my chest and being like, I gotta be the best recruiter. And then I just didn't care anymore. Like it was like, and then everybody's like, well, where's your recruiting been at lately? I'm like, I don't know, man. I fucking just stopped tracking it.
Right.
Like I didn't do it anymore. I just quit. I mean, you can use it. You can still use the link. I had like a special like catch website made for it. It's joshsmithlp.com or whatever. And like I used it for a long time, but the LNC members should be using those just to kind of track where people are at.
It's coming, and it's not going to be everybody's jam. We're going to emphasize it with people who have higher profiles and who do messaging.
Right.
Because I think that's the way to go, right? Like if you have no visibility on social media, you're probably not going to be pushing this thing out very successfully. Right. And that's okay. There's different roles for our different people.
Right. And it's just like, I mean, it's really no different than paid fundraisers, right? Which is like something that this party should have always had. Every political party that's successful in this country has had paid fundraisers. And that's just giving people an incentive to fundraise for the party. It's a good thing. It has always been a good thing. And I knew when they took it away that, and they said, they talked about how it wasn't fruitful. And I was like, nah, that can't be the truth. That's not the truth at all.
And it's also, it's not fruitful if you hand out the affiliate link to tons of people who aren't going to use it or who are going to try to subvert it.
Right.
So we're not doing that again.
Yeah.
Because that affiliate link went to a handful of people it shouldn't have gone to, quite honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was such a secretive thing, the whole thing.
Right.
That I didn't even know who all it went to. I just knew that, like Tom and Dave had one. I think Scott Horton had one maybe. But I didn't know. I didn't know all the people had it. And, that last board and the board before, to be honest, they didn't tell me shit. They never told me anything. They tried to keep me in the dark about shit they were doing.
Yeah.
I couldn't make motions on the board because I knew, if I brought a motion, it wasn't going to pass.
Yeah, that's not the way we're doing things now.
Yeah.
My goal is to keep the LNC informed, on as much as humanly possible, which means that I'm going to be blowing up everybody's inboxes all the time, but it's that or to be left in the dark.
You'll never catch up to Karen Ann, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. But specifically to keep the officers in the loop.
Sure.
Because that's really important. And that's something that didn't happen on the last couple of chairs. It's like maybe several terms. Wow. Quite a while. And that's what breeds a lot of the infighting and suspicion and paranoia is when the chair comes in like a dictator,
right,
and doesn't actually have the vice chair assist them and doesn't lean on the secretary and doesn't ask the treasurer for input about financial stuff.
Well, I was told that you are, the tyrant chair. I thought that you were the one. I thought you were the one that was going to come in and dictate, and that was it. I mean, you were gonna be the anti-democracy chair which is actually pretty based if it was true. But I thought, everybody said you were going to be the tyrant, that you were going to, drive this party in the ground. Ballot access was going to be non-existent, and this and that. It's just like, where do the fucking people get this stuff from?
They also need to. Let's take democracy. Let's throw that in the trash.
Yes, I like that.
Throw that right in the garbage, because it is garbage. And let's replace that with decision making that's made by consensus with a good leader who's always getting feedback from the people around them that they trust.
Oh, I like that. That's going to burn some. That's going to burn some boots, though. You know what I mean? There's going to be some people out there really upset that you said that.
Go ahead. Die mad.
I said die mad. No, my favorite is how mad people get about Michael Heiss when he was on that one. I don't remember what podcast it was, and he was talking about how democracy was trash and we don't run as a democracy and this and that, and everyone's like, oh my god, Michael Heiss is going to turn the LP into anti-democracy, and all I could think in my head was like, do you know how many people would think that's so based?
Yeah, it would be based.
There'd be so many people.
So everybody who's losing their minds right now, once again, calm down. I can't remove every democratic element from the party.
Right.
That's literally not possible, especially in a 2-year period and not in a 4-year period. What we're going to start doing is making a slow shift to run this party more efficiently, which means running it more like a business.
Right.
So I'm not coming in as a Hoppian dictator. I am coming in as like little Elon Musk Jr. CEO.
Right.
And if that's scary to you, perhaps you should reevaluate your priorities, because our success is more important than making everybody feel good with democracy. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the only way we're ever going to beat democracy in this country with this party is if we run our party that way. That's probably, there might be something that happened over the last 51 years that made it so this party was not extremely successful, but who knows? Who knows what it was? I don't know.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm working on getting to the bottom of it.
Right.
So something that I did before the national convention was I sent out Freedom of Information Act requests to CIA, the FBI, the IRS, and the NSA to see if any and what involvement they had in the Libertarian Party. It took some back and forth. I got an initial rejection. I had to redraft, and it went on, and I spent like 11 hours poring over COINTELPRO documents to make sure that what I requested was right, something I could actually get. Like, I looked at all the previous FOIA requests, dug through. So, hopefully within a month or two, we'll start to get some documentation in. That will be really, really fascinating. That'll be really fun to see.
I don't think I don't know how far out some of those documents can be declassified, but man, it'd be really nice to see if there was like any, I don't know, chairs or anything like that had been a part of one of those programs.
So for anybody who's really curious, They won't disclose names
Right.
of individuals, so you have to kind of read between the lines. But now that I'm the National Party's chair, I get a little bit more say in what they disclose and don't disclose.
Sure.
So there's a little bit of a gray area there. They won't disclose things having to do with foreign governments. So people who are concerned about this person XYZ is a plant or they're working with the other government, we may not get that sort of stuff. But we are going to get some bare bones. This is their interest. This is the activity. This program was launched, or this, X number of persons of interest or informants, whatever, in a certain state. We're going to start narrowing it down. And then the closer we get, that maybe at some point in the future, I could file an action.
Right.
Have to be really careful about how we spend LNC money. But if we get to the point where we really need something and it's good and there's an appetite for it there, I'm going to make sure that the path is open.
I like it. I'll just be a little more clear. I just want to know if Nick Sarwark's a Fed, mainly so that I can BTFO Scott Horton for yelling at me on my own fucking show. But no, seriously, everyone knows he's a Fed. It doesn't matter. We don't really need to know. We all know. You know what I mean? Let's see. We got some more super chats here. Shannon Lee, thanks for the $10 super chat. Longtime supporter. I appreciate you. She says, I'm going to need all of you to help Dennis Mizagoy for U.S. Senate running against Marco Red Flag Rubio. Get his message out to as many people. So please, Joshua and Angela, help Dennis. I've had Dennis on my show, actually, for his U.S. Senate campaign. I'm a big fan. I love Dennis to death. He's a great guy. So.
You know what we need, Shannon? You know what you could do for me is talk to Dennis and find out what his top issues are. Send me like a list so that not just like what's on the campaign website, but like what can he talk about really well. Get that to me so that I can try to work it into some sort of plug from the National Party. I cannot, from the National Party account, tell people to donate to Dennis, but I can say I could check out his campaign. Here's his campaign website. Dennis said this, our candidate said this about this thing. By the way, I'd like to put out a call to all of our anti-war candidates. Anybody who's like running for office right now as a libertarian and strongly anti-war, please send me a message because I might be able to include you in something.
Especially the federal candidates who will have the opportunity to affect that stuff. I'm just a statewide candidate. Obviously, I'm as anti-war as they come, but it's not really something that's in my platform.
Federal candidates for governor.
Oh, sure. Yep.
If you can push defend the guard legislation, haha. Yeah. See, I found a state way to work around it.
Well, their state reps can do that too. So
yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah. So, see, we're workshopping it like literally live, trying to figure out what I can push.
Ben Hackman, thanks for the $2 super chat. Multiple trans folks won awards at the Mises Bash. That's true.
It's true. We had two transgender women come up to the podium and accept awards.
Yeah,
so,
bigots, giant fucking bigots.
I'm mean.
Level Zero, thanks for the $5 super chat. This LP for the most part feels like what I had idealized when I originally joined in 2000. Looking forward to what's to come. We are too, I promise you.
Yeah,
absolutely, dude. It's the most stoked I've been for a long time. Quest Fanning, $5 super chat. Congratulations to you both, Angela and Josh. Couldn't be happier for your victory. Plus Todd and Karen Ann. Yes, squad.
Thank you.
Squad. Marco Frias, $5 super chat. It's early, but your ideas on LP Prez and vice presidential nominations being nominated as a dual ticket as opposed to separate like we have done it as a party in the past. I don't like it. I think it's I kind of like the idea that if the party is not super stoked with the presidential candidate, they have an opportunity to throw a vice presidential candidate in there that they could be a lot more happy with, as we saw in 2020.
Yeah. So there's pros and cons to both, right? And that's something that I don't think that decision is something that the LNC should make. Because you need to think about, there's a couple of ways to approach it. One is, like you said, you get a crap candidate or somebody that you don't like, or people who are like, if so-and-so doesn't get the nomination, I'm going to quit the party, right? So that's annoying. Right. All those scenarios, but then you can put in a VP or vice versa that you like. And so then now we've got people's in, and we've got them buy-in and all of that. The downside is when you have two people who hate each other's guts running for office or who don't communicate or just they don't share a vision. And that will end up with a very fractured campaign and sometimes messaging that's just totally like at odds, like someone saying defund the police and someone saying don't defund the police. that can be like a real mess.
Right.
And sometimes the vice presidential candidate can also drag down the presidential candidate. It could happen either way, but it's kind of complicated. I don't think we're going to solve it in 10 minutes on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, and there's always the questions too about moving the nomination up.
That needs to happen. I can't do it that quickly, but it needs to happen.
Yeah. It's talked about every term, and it never happens. And I think it's something that the delegates have to do at national.
We need a freaking bylaws proposal on it, probably.
Right.
We need to start working on that. It should be closer to the Iowa caucuses. I don't know if we're going to get it that close. That's quite a tall order, but it should absolutely be pushed back. It's like people are like, the Libertarian Party is a joke. You're a very distant third place. Well, part of that's because we behave like we're a distant third place. Sometimes we exude loser energy, and this is one area that I think we do exude that energy. Yeah,
and and just stepping back for a minute, someone from Iowa, there's a lot of caucuses here in Iowa.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of caucuses. Dingus called. Thanks for the $10 super chat. My family fled communism and fascism. I'm the definition of a bigot, obstinately devoted to liberty with a hatred for authoritarians. Am I welcome in the LP? That's our kind of bigots, buddy.
There you go.
We love you. We support you.
There you go.
Please join. Drew Cook, $10 super chat. Can Sober Caucus get some love? We've got a couple of $500 detox sober living scholarships available. People in the party, 100% crowdfunded by party members and beyond. Yes, if you are, I'd say if you're not clean or you are clean or you're trying to get clean and sober, you should definitely hit up Sober Caucus. They're amazing. Drew Cook is one of the coolest dudes in the whole world. I love him to death. I've also had him on the show, and they are doing some really great work in that space. This is what we talked about in the beginning. Like, it's a community that some people aren't a part of, and the best thing you can do is get out of the way and support them any way you can.
And what they're doing is really helping us in the drug war.
Right.
When you help people get out of addiction and clean up their lives and get out of bad scenarios, you're taking them right out of the clutches of the state, incarceration, all of that stuff. Certainly we want to repeal drug laws and get rid of that state power. But in the meantime, we got to triage our problems, and we got to lean on people who are experienced and skilled in taking those people out of those situations.
Right. No, I agree, and Drew's a good man for that. He's lived that life. I've lived that life as well. We've talked about that on the show, so I support those causes. And I probably should be a member of the Sober Caucus, but I'm not sober. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm clean. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not on drugs, but I am definitely not sober. I enjoy a glass of whiskey from time to time. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's very occasional when you have 7 kids, though.
Yeah, I'm a teetotaling, no alcohol, boring person.
Yeah, you don't drink or anything, huh?
I don't drink. I eat edibles every night so I can sleep.
Sure.
I don't like having my consciousness altered. I'm too type A.
I feel that. I enjoy altering my consciousness every once in a while. Man. I don't know if it has anything to do with my personality type or just that I have 7 kids, and any chance I get to...
Yeah. No, it would probably be good for me. I'm a little uptight.
Yeah.
I'm uptight. It's on me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Will Hobbs, my homie, $5 super chat. He said, running an Oregon LP primary for U.S. Senate. I'm a little anti-war. Not, buddy, you are Mr. Anti-War.
Mr. Anti-War.
Yeah, you know Will.
Oh, yeah.
You know Will. Will's amazing. He's been one of my very good friends in this party for a long time, and probably one of my biggest supporters for my campaigns, last 2 at least as well. So,
okay, Will, hit me up because I need some campaign intel. So I need some quotes. Send me some quotes, some anti-war quotes.
I just want to see Will in a suit. I want to see if that happens. That'd be really cool looking. Gary Krause, $5 super chat. Angela, please hit me up about Bitcoin project you mentioned on Twitter.
Yes, will do.
Gary Krause. Okay. Shannon Lee, member for 12 months. Thanks. Dennis went hard against Tho Bishop. I'll send you the link. I've been asked to help Dennis, so I'm on board to do so. Thank you to both of you. Thank you. Okay, here we go. TJ Fitzsimmons, what's up, man? Thanks for being a member for 11 months. Are there any plans to have a war chest so the party has cash ready to roll immediately when something big like mandates hits?
Are there big plans to roll out something for when the next mandate hits?
No. Are there plans to have a war chest so the party has cash ready to roll immediately when something big? So I don't know. Okay, look, the party has never had a war chest.
We're developing one.
We're
How about that?
developing a war chest. Yes.
I am actively developing a war chest. You have a email blast from the National Party going out from me probably tomorrow. We've got another marketing campaign rolling out afterwards, and all of them are tied into fundraising. And then we've got a really big fundraising pitch coming up, an event. It's going to be really awesome in the next couple of weeks. You can consider this like a secret non-announcement of that. So you can all look forward to that. We have to build that war chest. Right now we've let like little kid bow and arrow. Like we don't have.
It's all we got. We're trying to buy nukes, but all we got right now is Nerf guns. That's it.
Yeah.
We're getting there though. We're doing a lot better than we were doing 6 months ago.
Damn straight. We raised quite a bit of money at the convention. We had, I can't remember. It was like close to 80 lifetime joins over that weekend. I only penned like 37 to 38 people at the national convention, but a bunch of people joined with lifetime memberships. So,
which is really cool, to be honest with you. The fact that people have just been waiting and waiting and waiting. Yep. And I've been saying it for 5 years. You know, every time I'd run for chair, I'd be like, listen, when I win, tons of people are going to join the party. It's what's going to happen. And I said the same thing about you this year, right? Like when Angela wins, tons of people are going to join the party. And there was always people like, you know, Beth Vest, or these people are like, yeah, right. Where are they at now? Why aren't they here now? It's like, maybe they don't want to be here because of you. You know what I mean? I said the same thing to Joe. If you saw the little clip from the vice chair debate at National, Joe Hopman, he's like Ron Paul, I was at the DePaul University when Ron Paul said, don't call me a libertarian, and he sat down. I said, maybe he didn't want to be called a libertarian because people like you, buddy. You know, it's true. That's what it was.
It's like, oh gosh, so much hubris. I don't want to name call anyone. I don't think it's in good form for me to do it as chair, but I would say to anyone who is hating on Ron Paul supporters, do yourself a favor and stop, because you're embarrassing yourself.
Right. Especially now.
And you're not going to win the argument. Let it go. Just let it go. You've probably got something else that's much better to say. Say that instead.
Right. Yeah, like call me a bigot again, or a deadbeat, or couch surfer, or there's other things you could say about me, you know, that none of us have ever heard before. Let's see. TJ Fitzsimmons said, as long as there is a plan to not blow the money, I'm in. So that's good. Yeah,
we're not blowing money. We're not, you know, I'm not making it rain yet. We have to be a little more judicious in how we spend our money. But the first step is to earn the money, get the money in. That's what we're working on.
Yeah, and it's, you know, you have a board, and we talked about this in the very beginning of the show. We finally have a board that's not going to sit around and play petty intra-party politic games. That's what it's been for years. And why would anybody want to spend money on a party that's what they do? Why? I certainly dropped. You know, Robert Kraus had to chase me down to pay my membership before the national convention. Literally, I stopped giving money to the party.
Well, yeah, and it's a sad state of affairs, but you're not the only one. A lot of people did.
And my monthly was never huge, but there was a time where I was giving $100 a month to the party. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? On top of all the traveling I was doing for the party, on top of the fundraising I was doing for the party, I was giving $100 of my own money. And I got to a point where it's like, you know, I got better things to do with my own money.
Right.
And, you know, I'll continue to do my things. You know what I mean? I'll continue to do my, you know, the work that I do for the party, but I'm not going to give my own money that I work my ass off to a party that's not doing anything politically whatsoever.
Well, I'm telling everyone, please give it now.
Yeah. Now you have the opportunity to give to a party that's going to fight the state, like, legitimately, and is growing. I mean, I think we were the fastest growing party in the country for a minute. I think now we're actually, like, legitimately back there.
Yeah.
Again. And it's fast.
Some of that money, by the way, a little bit of that money went to New Hampshire. Or $5,000. When was that? When was that? Was that Thursday?
That was when I was sick. I know that because we did the executive committee, and I was
I think it was Thursday. Yeah. So the New Hampshire party, I definitely want to give them a shout out. They are really busting their asses right now to try to get ballot access, and they have some really good campaigns. So that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to support people who, like, actually care and who are doing the work and who are good libertarians.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. And it's, I follow pretty much every libertarian from New Hampshire I follow on Twitter. And every post they're making right now is them out, trying to get signatures to get ballot access. Everybody. And that's huge because a lot of those guys used to just be Free State Project people that did not like the Libertarian Party. So that says a lot.
Understandable.
Yeah,
yep.
Understandable. Are you guys, let's say, speaking of New Hampshire, are you coming to Porkfest?
I'm not coming this year. I'm the worst.
Oh, no.
I know. I have a ticket. I've been the last 2 years. I planned on coming, but I'm going to be on I'm going to be traveling to a very well-known podcast earlier that week, which I will announce later. So this is my next non-announcement.
I bet I know.
And then at the end of that week, I'm going to be in Florida for a friend's wedding.
Nice.
So it's just like a lot of travel. And then there's a couple of other things that might end up happening that week. I was just like, I got screwed. And then I think most people know I'm a little over 3 months pregnant. And I have still been hitting the campaign trail. Like, it hasn't really been much of an issue for me.
Right.
Hasn't been. But I'm trying to remember I am 1.5 humans right now. 2 humans, pro-life people, chill out. You know what I mean? The other person is 8 ounces. But I'm trying to remember, it does actually tax you a little bit. I'm not good at gauging that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to be more chill. I need to be chill.
Yeah, we have a baby coming in almost exactly 2 months from now. So we get it. It's taxing on my little Italian fiance as well. And we're getting to the point now where it's like, I best just shut up when I'm around her most of the time,
Yeah.
You're tired. Okay, I get it.
I'll get there. I one day it'll sink in when I'm maybe after I've given birth, I'll realize that I was pregnant and that I should slow down.
Well, I'm excited for you. I think you're gonna be an awesome mom. Just don't dictate too hard, okay? Sometimes kids got to do what they want.
Not going to put them in uniforms and have them march and speak German. Sorry, that's not actually a thing. Yeah.
No, you just keep them away from the pride parades.
Mean. Bigot.
It's just it's so bad. I'm watching these videos going, I could never bring my kids to this. I grew up going to the San Francisco Pride. You know what I mean? We'd go and skate Pride and because, I was
I could take I could take my kids if there was no nudity.
Yeah, but it's not.
But there's nudity and humping. So, if I'm not going to have them watch that on TV, we're not going to watch it in person.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad news.
If there's a G-rated pride parade, maybe we'll do that.
That's never been a thing ever. I remember going in 1998 or something like that, and it was half naked people and sex on the street, and I
don't want to see it.
No.
Am I a bigot?
And of course
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to see
straight people have sex in front of me either.
No.
It's nothing about gay. I don't need to see that.
Yeah. Well, stay out of San Francisco if you know what's good for you. Then
it's okay. I live in LA. It is what it is.
It's almost the same thing. It's close. Patrick Mitchell, thanks for the $5 super chat. He says, "I was one of those who became a lifetime member after y'all won. Thank you for pinning me, Angela. Congrats and good luck to both of you."
Thank you.
Patrick Mitchell is a great Texas Mises Caucus person who I love very dearly.
Yep.
Longtime supporter of the show as well. Craig. Was it Craig or off? I don't know. Somebody said, when aren't you guys having a baby, Josh? Yeah, it was Craig. When don't you have a baby coming, Josh? Yeah, that's true. I got an Italian Midwestern fiance.
Okay.
She wants 10 kids. That's what she wants. And
Ooh. We'll enter into aggressive negotiations on how many I'll have.
You may have your first one and be like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and I want to have 100 more. You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I'll be paying someone to turn back my biological clock, but whatever.
Yeah, it does sneak up on you fast.
I'm a very busy person, but see, I'm no longer a failed childless loser.
Right.
So Take that, social conservatives. I'm catching up, better late than never.
Stefan
Molyneux can sleep at night. He's having a heart attack.
You got one up. You got one up on David Valenti now, at least.
He's like the Santa Claus of eggs, making his list, checking it twice.
Oh, Stefan. I know he's like a meme now, but man, he used to be so good. And I will still listen to Molyneux about his peaceful parenting stuff is just fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't listened in a few years, like ever since I had a nightmare about him. But
oof, that might have been a little scary. He's kind of got that PBS face. It's
it
a little
wasn't
creepy.
Scary, but it kind of turned me up. Because in my nightmare, he was just a head with a spider robot body. And so now when I see him, all I can think is the head and the spider robot body. And it bit me. It was traumatic.
We used to talk about Stefan a lot in the group. So Angela and I were in some Facebook groups back in the day prior to our real involvement with the party. I mean, this was 2015, I think, is when we really started with the Gary Johnson Dank meme stash and all that shit. And then what do we have? Dankertarians and Think Liberty. And we were all kind of a part of this community that was trying to put out content. And there was a lot of people talking about Stefan back then. It was always kind of funny. Yeah. And that's where you and I met. It was kind of that libertarian online community, but out of the party.
Right. He choked on red pills, rest in peace.
Yeah, you're not supposed to boof the entire bottle, bud.
No.
Sorry, you just can't, Well,
he was funneling it.
Absolutely. Hey, well, we're getting to the end of the live stream. We'll have the members only for a couple minutes after this, but before we go, we started talking about what you've done, but what are the plans? What are the things you want to see from the Libertarian Party going over the next 2 years?
Oh man. So cohesion, so that we're unified and we understand what we're doing. Goals, basic goals, some flexible long-term goals. No more high time preference behavior. We're going to start planning for a long-term future if we want to be serious political contenders. Emphasis on local politics from the national party. A presidential campaign that actually grows our grassroots base, not just a one-off, hey, we got a whole bunch of votes from a bunch of people who spite voted against Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Like meaningful growth and messaging that really resonates with people and speaks to real people's needs, and helping people on their libertarian journey. We need to foster and grow libertarians, and doing all of that while being mindful of the weird, strange state of the political climate right now. Balkanization, cold civil war, inflation through the roof. We've got to navigate all these problems really carefully while being authentic and genuine and growing our movement in a way that will actually bolster and support people if shit really does hit the fan. Sure. That's what I want to see the party do.
Nice. Well, I'm a big fan, Angela. I look forward to working with you over the next 2 years for sure. I promise you I'll pick up my pace from prior Libertarian National Committee boards. It was hard to do work with those people.
Getting blacklisted.
We'll leave it at that. It was very hard for me to do work with those people, and I feel like I got the catharsis I deserved. And I have amazing feelings. I'm watching the energy of this movement, and I'm just super proud that we get to be led into battle by someone that I know is genuine and legitimately cares about the issues that Americans are facing, and I appreciate you very much. By the way, did you get the gift that I sent you yet?
No.
You still haven't got it?
I didn't. Okay, I'll check the mail.
Okay, you got to check the mail. You got to check the mail. I sent you a gift. Hopefully,
I have a pile of mail.
Okay, it should be a box, like a package thing, a little package. So, but I'm super excited. The energy is amazing. The new membership growth is beautiful. The new fundraising, and I know that you have everything to do with that. And this movement, I believe, owes you a great deal of gratitude, and I hope it continues to grow and blossom under your leadership. Thank you for everything. Where can people find you, follow you, support you, listen to you, all those good things?
Thank you. If you want to get copies of my speech transcripts, resources that I've worked on for the Libertarian Party over the last year, you can go to patreon.com/Angela McArdle. There's a lot of good content in there and a lot of really good stuff coming over the next couple of days. You can follow me on Twitter. That is in the tagline I see for the video. And if you want to see my speaking appearances, that'll all be updated by Friday at angelamcardle.com. There's some really cool stuff happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you guys go support Angela's Patreon. That gives her more freedom to do more stuff for the party and the movement. And that really means a lot to everybody if you understand how hard this woman can work. So Angela, thank you again so much for coming on. Thank you. We're all very proud of your win. And if you can just give me a couple of minutes, close this thing out, we'll start the members only stream.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Angela's super cool. Please go support her and support the Libertarian Party. It's actually gonna use your money for good and not evil anymore. And that's a really important thing, man. You guys finally have a movement and a leadership team that you can coalesce around that is not going to embarrass you, is going to message the important issues like the COVID regime, the anti-war sentiment, inflation in the Federal Reserve. These are the things that we know are important to libertarians, but more importantly, they're important to everyday American people, whether they understand them or not. And you have a party that's going to do that now and run candidates that are going to help try and enrich those people's lives. So if you could please go and support her and the party and, me trying to put together this media program for the party, you can always earmark your donations to the Libertarian Party to go towards whatever you'd like them to go towards. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but it's good stuff. Mesa Columbus, thanks for becoming a new member, supporter of the show. Oh wait, that's a white bee. I wonder if it's still doing the colored badges. Anyways, but yeah, please go support her. I'll, of course, go check out my sponsors, toplobster.com, the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend and partner on Break the Cycle, where you can get all kinds of great hats, backpacks, bags, hoodies. I think he's got some girl pants up there. He's got all kinds of cool stuff, all hand-drawn designs. And you can go to toplobster.com and use BTC at checkout for a 10% discount. Or, guys, join the Patreon, become a subscribe star, or become a member of the YouTube channel where you get into the members-only streams, but also you get into a private Discord server where you can get all Top's new gear that comes out up to 2 weeks before it goes to the general public at like a 30% discount. Really great stuff. Definitely worth it, especially if you're one of the lower-tiered patrons. You're going to get your money's worth. And you get to watch a lot of other content that you don't see here, like watching Tom Woods say the F word. Which is still on there. I think there's 152 members only episodes now that you guys are not seeing if you're not members. So go check that out. Of course, sorry. Executive producer of the show, anthemplanning.com, for all your emergency and crisis planning needs. Check them out today. See what they can do for your business, home, or personal life. They're doing a wonderful job that the government has historically sucked at much cheaper and much more efficiently. Seriously, if you own a business, especially, or somebody who owns a business, go check them out. They're going to save you a ton of time, ton of money, and give you all the help you need. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting over that sickness, which I never had a cough, but I guess there was stuff in my lungs that I never was coughing out while I was sick, and now it's coming out. So, and of course, new sponsor of the show, Extreme Timeline Podcast. Please go check them out. They're doing a deep dive into ECW wrestling and watching it from the very beginning. Amazing stuff. If you're listening to this in the audio, of course, you've heard their ad here. There will be a video ad for the live stream soon. I'm done with shows. No, I have one more show this week. I'll announce it tomorrow. Should be Thursday or Friday. And then coming up, I think the week after, is it the week after? I'll be in PorkFest. If you guys are going to be around PorkFest, please come say hi to me, man. I'm so stoked to go to PorkFest. Yep. So today is the 14th. Next week on Wednesday morning, I'll be flying out to Boston and catching a ride with a good friend into New Hampshire, where I will be until Sunday evening, I believe. So 4 days or whatever, I'll be at PorkFest. I know that we're going to do some kind of talk there. I'd like to talk with a lot of my friends and see y'all, give you hugs, high fives, daps, all that good stuff. Love you guys to death. I will see you either Thursday or Friday for the next show. Until then, don't forget to break the cycle.
Due to legal reasons, I just have to explain. The lyrics of my last song may seem to contain a violent call to action in the verse and refrain, but I just meant it in Minecraft. The helicopter part was in reference to GTA 5 and the things you do. So any violence you commit, I am not an excuse, because I just meant it in Minecraft. But Chipper is my friend and he's constantly cold. Accusations of incitement getting totally old. Make your own choices, yeah, you have control, because I just meant it in Minecraft. Obviously I would never advocate force, unless there's due process and a trial, of course. And if you're convicted, we will make you a corpse in Minecraft, just in Minecraft. Nothing I mean, you know it. No product dinners cause they closed for COVID.